Hello and welcome back. This is part 3 of the tutorial on Berkai or dual wield spinning. Last time around we dealt with the downward simultaneous crossover, the simultaneous clock face. I wanted to deal with the other side of that clock face, the upward simultaneous. Alright, now again, from last time, I'll move it on to this side, actually let's move it forward here. If you've gotten the hang of this, you've noticed that this also is easier than the alternating, but not as easy usually for most people as the downward. But the upward crossovers are not going to be as easy as the downward crossovers, but it is basically the same concept. When we were dealing single wield, this was the upward crossover. Okay, and if you recall from single wield, if you try this out relative to the downward, you'll notice that the downward, when the blade moves across my body, gravity's kind of working for me. I'm going with gravity, downward. Okay, but when I started the upward one, I'm working against gravity. It's more shoulder work. I've got to pull it up like this. Okay, with the double version, we're going to find almost kind of a scissors-like feeling as we pull it up or pull them up and across. But we're basically doing the same thing. Both hands. And you notice again, I'm shifting which arm is on top. Okay. But I encourage you when you're doing this to think of it with these, think of it as having to push forward a little bit, because unlike the downwards, gravity's not with you. So here, after we get here, on this beat, I can't just bring them up. I've got to bring them forward and up. Alright, so that's the upward wield simultaneous crossover. And between all of those, you'll find that you can play around with that clock face just as it is a slate onto which you can create moves with the single saber, so is it with the double saber. Okay, do a few crossovers, play around with that, bring it to the other side, do a few crossovers, either arm on top as you choose, bring it to the other side, crossovers, and just get used to the crossovers and the transitions. From downward to upward, we're going low. From upward to downward, we're going high. Alright, so play with that, the clock face, the different simultaneous moves. There's one more tier that I want to add onto the simultaneous moves that's sort of a transition into alternating, but we'll get to that next time. Until then, see you on the forums.